That is spirituality. That is why meditation is needed. So there should be nobody who's going to say, I don't want to work on myself. And if anybody is still going to continue saying, I'm not going to work on myself, then if we are here today, next year we will be a little dipped without having any situation happening in our life, but just because of the collective energy of the planet, just because of the collective energy of any country, just because of the vibrations where you're working. So if I'm working in an office where 100 people are stressed, I cannot remain where I am because that vibration of 100 stressed people affects me and I go a little lower, but I don't realize it, and I go a little lower next year and I don't realize it. So all that I have to do is be with everyone, work with everyone, travel all over the world, do everything, but just keep doing this every day. Just go higher. And if you just keep energizing yourself every day, then you are the radiator of power. Instead of getting influenced by that energy, you're a radiator and transformer of energy. You will have the power to empower your children. You will have the power to empower your spouse. You will have the power to empower your team. And you have the power to radiate that power all over the planet. So it's just a choice on which vibration you want to stand. That is spirituality.
So nice. Uh, uh, One more thing that, as immigrants again, and, I also came from a very small town in Himachal, and this was all new for me 30 years back. And it was a new country, new cultures, traditions were new. So, how can we accept the unknown, and how can we not fear the unknown? Because even after 30 years, I've seen many, and even I have taken time and taking time to accept people who are different here, who are maybe, are just not like us. And we are kind of okay, this is from the a person from the LGBTQ community, or a child who's not doing well, or interracial marriages, which are very difficult for many people here, who are staying here to accept. So how can we?
We have chosen, we have made a decision. And along with the decision, there will be situations. But once we choose and we make that decision, we are saying, I have chosen to adapt with all the situations. And situations don't come only in a different country. You can be in the same country where you were, you can be in the same city where you are. Everybody is not going to be like you. So we have to adjust everywhere. We have to adapt everywhere. But sometimes when we make this shift, so then maybe culturally we are a little different from other people. But today, emotionally, we're different even from our own spouse, even from our own children. And sometimes we will look at them and say, like, how can you do like this? It's nothing to do with where we are staying. It's to do with where we are inside here. So it doesn't matter where you are, people are going to be different culturally, vibrationally, emotionally, socially, professionally. Everybody is going to be different from me. It is about where am I standing in my energy. If I work on myself to go higher, my power to accept increases. My power to get influenced by what I don't want to become, that power increases. I will not get influenced. Today, people get influenced. Not that any culture or any particular sanskar of anybody is wrong. It's just that my rights and wrongs will be mine, right? But sometimes I say, but I wanted to live a certain way. But since the time I'm living here or I'm working here, I've just changed. Changing is not a problem, provided you're happy with the change that you have created. But if you feel I didn't want to become like this and I have become like that, then it means I got influenced by something else happening around me. And why did I get influenced? Emotional immunity low. So when we energize ourselves, we will only adapt what we believe is right. And what is right means what is emotionally going to make me stronger. It's going to make my sanskars more powerful. And yet at the same time, not a single critical judgmental thought for anybody else inside. But sometimes we are there and we are quite critical about other people around us because they are different from us, and they are critical about us because we are different from them. And so there's a lot of vibrational hitting each other, even though we could be living in the same house or working in the same place. working in the same office or living in the same city. So if one person creates access to judgmental thinking, so meditation helps us to do that.
Okay. One more thing that's coming to my mind, and I am so looking forward to hearing you on August 30th and 31st here in the Bay Area. I think, are you coming after a while? Because you came earlier. I remember I was there until
Last was 2018.
हाँ तो थोड़ा वक्त हो गया है so we are really really looking forward to and I'll tell everybody and the good part is that they are free registration and what I love about the Brahma Kumaris is that these days there are other wonderful spiritual organizations but sometimes I feel spirituality is monetized now. Sometimes people want to go, but it's such expensive this thing. So, do you have to say anything about the monetization of spirituality these days?
Don't have to say anything about anybody else. We were taught right from the beginning that ये परमात्मा का ज्ञान है, and there cannot be a cost to it.
Yeah, that
There
is one.
cannot be a cost to it. We
Yeah,
just study,
yeah.
and whatever we learn,
Mm.
if we get a platform, we share. That's all life is. It's not like, oh, we have to spread this, we have to do it. That's not the intention. The intention, we are here for our own journey. We are not here to create an expansion of an organization. We are here for our own journey. But on this journey, we experience transformation. We see a lot of shift in us. At the same time, we're seeing a lot of people around us who are experiencing pain, and we feel it's simple. They don't need to go through so much pain. So it's like if you meet somebody who's unwell physically and you know some medicine which works for them, automatically you will share with them. Na? You will say, you know what, I took this tablet and I'm perfectly fine. Or you know what, I went to this doctor, I'm perfectly fine. You don't charge for sharing that with them. You don't charge.
So
It's
lovely.
just that you benefited with something and you want to share it with everybody else. And those who want to take it and whatever they want to take out of it, that's completely their choice. But you don't charge for sharing some with somebody your experiences.
Thank you for the answer. And whatever little I read of Brahma Kumari's organization, I think it was founded in 1937, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 36
Uh,
days. Yeah.
yeah, and by Brahma Baba, Lekraj Kriplani ji. And
Ji.
he chose to put women in front from the very beginning. And it has set Brahma Kumari apart on the stage of the world's religions and spiritual organization. So, predominantly run by women, I have to say. So, do you feel that, women have that female energy is more in tune to compassion and nurturing and more resilient and resourceful in certain ways, or we all are equal?
See, each one of us is a soul in this body.
Okay.
The soul is not a man or a woman. It's like I'm wearing a sari, you're wearing a salwar kameez. That doesn't make you less or more than me, right? It's just our dress which is different. Similarly, it's just the body that is different. So it's a male costume or a female costume. I, the soul, could be in a female costume today. Previous birth, I could be in a male costume. So this whole conflict that we have on the man-woman thing is something that spirituality just helps us to put it aside and say, I am a soul talking to another soul. Finished. But what happens is when you're born in a particular costume, so if you're born in a female costume, then right from childhood, there is a conditioning which society creates for you. Like, okay, but I'm not saying that it's girls are like this and boys are like this. No, no way. It's again each soul how they are going to take it. But there's a lot of conditioning which happens right from the beginning that, okay, you have to adjust like this, you have to do like this, you have to. So that automatically cultivates a certain set of sanskars in a girl or a woman. Automatically. The sanskars of nurturing, the sanskars of caring for, because in an era before this, today everything is being treated equally as a role. But in the era earlier, the woman was the nurturer. The man was the provider, right? And this is not their sanskar, this was their role. The man was the provider of the family, and the woman was the nurturer of the family. So automatically the man's sanskars of being a provider were created. And the woman's sanskars of being a nurturer were created because those were going to be the roles. Like suppose if you're a doctor, then certain sanskars will get created because doctor is your role. If you're a business leader, certain sanskars will get created because that's your role. So provider was a role, nurturer was a role. And so the nurturing sanskars got created in the woman. Now today, if you see, both are playing same roles. So both are playing same roles. So again, similar sanskars will start getting created. So sometimes you will have the man and the woman both just coming out of a sanskar of being a provider because both of them are only playing that role of a provider. And sometimes the children are missing the vibration of a nurturer, of a nurturer. So working was not the problem. Woman coming out of the house and earning was not an issue at all, obviously. But woman thinking that I'm the same as a man or I'm a more or less, all this that has happened was not needed. It is just that, okay, my sanskar, my role and responsibility is a nurturer of the family. Along with this, I also want to be a provider. And the man could have done the same thing that I am the provider of this family, but along with that, I'm going to be the nurturer. But today, both are being predominantly the provider. And so the nurturer sanskar sometimes dips in the house. And that is what is affecting the children. Because both the providers are in a race literally as to how much more I can do and how much more I can earn. So the doing, the earning is not the problem, but the balance between the sanskar of a provider and a nurturer. So now we've come to a time where the man and the woman both should have the sanskar of the provider and the nurturer, because if both are going to be providers, then both should be the nurturer also. But if both be providers and the nurturing element gets affected in the house, that's when the balance in the family, that's when that energy of the family starts changing. And then if you see, our our family is more based today on materialistic comforts. That's become because the other element is missing. So we can only be parenting with money because that's what is my predominant. By the time the parent comes home, they are stressed. They are anxious. It's not that they don't love their children. They'll do anything for their children. But do they have that vibration by the time they have reached home in the evening? Or they both are coming home competing who's more stressed than the other person or who's more insecure of a job loss than the other person. So both are radiating that vibration to the children. So it's very important. Both can be a provider, but then both should be a nurturer, and that's why both should work on their emotional health. So in 1936, this was not Brahma Baba's thought. This was a divine message that he got because he was just an instrument and he was getting all the teachings from Paramatma. And it was that guidance which says it's not that it's a woman administered organization. It's not like that. We have equal numbers of brothers and sisters, absolutely equal. You come to any center, we are equal. But the running of the center, each center, is predominantly sisters in the front, simply because the whole journey of, let's say I'm a new person, let's say today you're a new person and you come to the center for the first time. What have we come there for? We have come there for transformation of sanskars, which requires a lot of nurturing. It requires a lot of motherly love, a lot of motherly hand holding, a lot of care to take a person who is believing that stress, anxiety, anger, jealousy is normal to shifting them to a sanskar of purity, compassion, love. It's a very big shift. It's like a new life. It's absolutely like a new life. And that new life journey comes easier to many sisters. So because it's that nurturing sanskar. So that is the reason why sisters are in the forefront in only in taking care of the centers, but otherwise equal in seva also and equal in numbers who are coming to the center.
Absolutely, such wonderful words, Sister Shivani ji. जाते जाते मैं तो यही पूछूंगी, like, yes, life has gotten very busy with both being providers now. I can see it in our kids and everywhere around. So one thing or ritual or affirmation we can do in the morning to start our day well, and one thing that we should not do before sleeping. So, थोड़ा सा जल्दी
What?
करते
Even though you're talking in Silicon Valley, I would just say don't use your gadgets first thing in the morning and just before going to sleep. That's the most important thing because we're consuming from the world early in the morning. You know, the mind is like a blotting paper. Deep sleep or just going into sleep. Your subconscious is going to be used. So, what you're going to put in the subconscious starts becoming a part of your personality. So, do not scroll the short videos or your messages or watch series. Definitely don't watch world news both these times before going to sleep or just when you wake up because it's going into the subconscious. It's not in the conscious. During the day also, restrict content consumption. The one thing I've been sharing on every platform is this year has to be of digital de-addiction. If not, then next year is tougher. Next year is tougher because then now the new tools are going to grab us, no? So we better become the master of technology rather than a victim or a slave of technology. Because if I'm a slave to technology and all these new things will come now, I will just get sucked in. I will just get sucked in. So use it like a master, not like a slave. You want to use it for 5 minutes, but you used it for 20, then you're a slave. So use it as a master, use it with awareness. We have created a generation, he's very conscious of our diet. Earlier हम कुछ भी खाते थे. मतलब ये बना है ये खा लो. Right now we are so conscious ये नहीं खाना, which is good, healthy, but equally should be conscious of what content to consume, what not to consume. Because content is emotional diet. I may be physically healthy. We've seen it in the last 2 years. Extremely healthy people suddenly left in 5 minutes. Extremely healthy people. And all the doctors said, this is lifestyle and stress. So what lifestyle? What lifestyle are we talking about? Because those who left, their family says, but he was strictly vegetarian or she was always healthy, going to the gym, exercising, everything, non-alcoholic, not smoking. What lifestyle? It's here. This lifestyle was not taken care of. So emotional diet is probably even more important to take care of than physical diet. If my mind is perfect, my body can handle if sometimes my diet is not right. But if my mind is stressed, then the perfect diet of the body is also not giving health. So very, very careful. And then your morning and your night should be with a few minutes of reflection. Write a little journal in the night. आज क्या सही किया, आज क्या नहीं किया. Change your thoughts before going to sleep. Forgive before going to sleep. Seek forgiveness before going to sleep. Gratitude both the times, morning and night. And when you start doing this, you'll reach a stage where you would want to meditate in the morning and the night. It will come natural to you. If we just do it for a few minutes in the morning and the night, the rest of the day, you're going to be at a higher vibrational energy.
Thank you for such wonderful advice, Sister Shivani ji. And yeah, I think we have to withdraw a little bit from the AI-driven feed that because they're all personalized now. तो जो देख रहे हो वो और आता जाता है. And go deeper down and take care, check in with our emotional and mental health, which is so important. And all I'll tell everybody is that we are looking forward to having Sister Shivani ji here with us in the Bay Area on August 30th and 31st at the Santa Clara Convention Center. Go to svbrahmakumaris.org and be in her presence, which is humbling all the time. Thank you so much, Sister.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
Wonderful
Thank you.
talking to you. Take care.
Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Shanti.
Thank you.
Are we ready? Are we ready to create a peaceful world? When we change, the world changes.